Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So it has been reported that Dimitri Payet might be interested in finishing off with his career with West Ham before he retires, and that he might be interested in a move back. Before I start, may I just say that I won't fully believe that, because it's always been rumoured that West Ham is going to be linked with him a couple of times every summer. He left the club due to off-field reasons and not because of a lack of ambition, although you could argue that might have been the case. But he left the club mainly because of off-field and personal reasons and went back to Marseille. Payet may be 34, 35 years old, but he had 22 goal contributions last season, and Marseille needs to sell. While it is unlikely that he comes back to West Ham, it certainly can't fully be ruled out. I would have him back for one last dance, possibly, but I don't know. Maybe wages could be a problem. Moyes says that he wanted more Dimitri Payets in his team, and then literally was linked with Dimitri Payet. You couldn't really write it, but well, you could, but you know what I'm saying. We are linked with Payet very loosely though, but I think a move at this point is quite unlikely. I wouldn't mind having him back at West Ham, really, because I think we need an extra attacking option. Say you have Scamacca, Cornet, Bowen, and Payet, and maybe Ben Rama as a sub. We'd be cooking, I think. But I will say that Payet is the best player I've seen in my generation, a West Ham shirt. Signed him for fairly cheap fee of around £10 million, and he had a phenomenal first season. You know what I'm saying? So much so, he was a Ballon d'Or nominee and even got to the final of the Euros with the France national team. We had a real class quality player in our team with him, and I do miss him at the club. It's sad how things worked out, but we can't really dwell on it too much, because if we just live in the past, we won't move forward, and we have to really move on from there. Look, I think it's unlikely to happen, but it certainly has caught a lot of people's interests. If something develops, obviously the club's informants are going to let us know. I think it's going to be one of those where we're just linked with another player from the past. Like we was linked with Arnautovic before, we were linked with a return for Josh Cullen, I think this summer. I don't really see Payet coming back so far, but if Marseille needs to sell, then that's their problem. I think that they've actually signed Alexis Sanchez, and he's probably on a lot of wages. That hasn't helped. So maybe they're trying to get Payet off the books to counteract that. So yeah, basically, Payet's return to West Ham is unlikely, but it's a rumour that has certainly caught a lot of people's attention. Just waiting for these people to go by. Yeah. That's the first part of this video, and the second part of this video is that I want to just show you guys something very quickly, if it's possible. So what I've stood here is something that's a very big part of Canadian history. This is constructed out of Lego, and what this is the memorial of the Battle of Vimy Ridge, made out of Lego. Now, the Battle of Vimy Ridge was a very important part of Canadian history. It took place in 1917, and it showed Canadian armed forces' strength. And it was also showing strategy, although the human cost was staggering. This memorial was built between 1925 to 1936, and it's located in Arras, France. Inscribed upon it are the names of all the Canadian soldiers who died during that conflict. 150,000 Lego parts were used to actually build this, and 3,000 project hours were taken. That is quite impressive. It was constructed over a 5-year period from 5 provinces, 12 states, and 11 other countries. I'll show you some of the detail on it. So yeah, you can see all people here. There's also RCMP, members of the Canadian Armed Forces, bagpipe gangs. Also, there's the monument itself. That is very impressive in terms of the detail, I have to say. They've done a really nice job on that one. And if I go over here, I'll show you this. Having a bit of a Lego overdose. I thought that this is so relevant. Because we're playing a team from Denmark and Lego is Danish. So, wow. I think we're doing a really appropriate thing in this video. It's really convenient that I'm showing you guys all this Lego. Because, one, these are quite impressive, and secondly, I think it's just good timing, you know. We're linked with a move to a club from, we're going to be seeing a team from Denmark playing against a team from Denmark. I'll show you. This Alberta Legislature building built out of Lego. The detail in this is absolutely fantastic, guys. I mean, again, this took a lot of project hours. This took a total of, let's see, 11 months on a 1:40 scale. Come around the other side. I have stood outside the front of these gates before for protests. That is actually very impressive still. Some information about Commonwealth countries, as Canada's part of the British Commonwealth. This one being Australia. And this is about the Commonwealth Games, all the flags that are part of the British Commonwealth. I'll show you one more thing and then I'll cut the video off. Again, those are fantastically built. They were built by the Northern Alberta Lego Association, I think it's called. It's like, I think, Legoland, but like in a case. I mean, the people at Legoland probably take quite a lot of time to build their models, even if it's like a small car or a giraffe. I went to Legoland as a kid. It was actually very boring. It was just Lego. But, as I say, Payet, back to West Ham. Some people say yes, some people say no. Depends how you feel about it. Just want to show you one more thing. Coming up right here. And then I got to get my train home. I don't really do tour videos on this channel, do I? But you get into a little bit of stuff along the way. And since I was walking to the Legislature grounds, I just thought, why not do this? You know. So here are all the flags of the Canadian provinces and territories. So here we have, if I do this, the Northwest Territories. It's both English and in French. Canada's newest territory, Nunavut, in English and Inuktitut, which is the language of the Inuit people. Here we have Newfoundland and Labrador. Yep. And here, behind me is Nova Scotia, which means New Scotland. If you've seen Balamory, that province will remind you of it in a way. It's very beautiful. Actually, I'll come closer here so you can see it a bit more better this way. This is Prince Edward Island, which is known for potatoes. This is New Brunswick, which is actually Canada's only official bilingual province. Everything is in English and French, completely. This is Quebec, so it's going from east to west, in this order. I went there to Montreal. Where Peach was from, Ontario. Huge province. Manitoba. Saskatchewan, which is predominantly known for wheat fields and wheat production. Alberta, where I am right now and where I live. And finally, BC, British Columbia, which is a stunning place. So yeah, those are the flags of all the provinces. I hope you found this video interesting, and yeah, let's see what happens with Payet. I don't think it's really likely to happen, but Don't count your chickens, they say. Hope you enjoyed the little tour there and found it somewhat interesting. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all soon.